My name is Lamis. I'd like to thank you all for coming here today. I am a member of this community. I am a member of the Muslim community, obviously. I was a teacher here in the school for 2 years. I taught social studies, so you and I go back a little bit. Our children here at the school have such an appreciation for the politics and the government in Delaware because of how involved people like you are with our community. And it gives our children such aspirations that they can do bigger things. They can be part of government, they can be part of politics, and be part of the American society. I am going to talk to you today a little bit about the role of women in Islam. And as Mr. Tom Gordon said, that the role of the family in the Muslim community is extremely important. And the role of the mother is among the most important. So these misconceptions that the media has us all believing that women are somehow oppressed and suppressed and ignorant and uneducated and held back, it's exactly the opposite. We're not, and we're not supposed to be. And any woman who is because of a lack of knowledge of their religion. Our religion holds us to a higher standard. We are, men and women are different, but we are equal in the eyes of Islam. And that being said, there's a lot of things that I'm sure many people don't realize. Education in Islam is an extremely important thing, and that's one of the things that drove me to become a teacher. And then I opened my own daycare, and I have the foundation being built for these young children to grow up and have a love of learning. And that comes from my religion more so than anything else. The first college, the first university on earth was opened by a Muslim woman in Morocco. Bet you didn't know that, did you? So it's interesting to see how the media gives us these perceptions that somehow women are not allowed to do these things. I'll give you a few other examples that many people don't realize, and when I speak to people, they're just so surprised to know. For example, a woman, if she chooses to work, any income that she has, that she receives, is hers. She doesn't have to help pay the bills. She doesn't have to help, pay for clothes for the kids or for food or whatever. It's her money to do whatever she wants with. And if she chooses to help, which many of us do, help at home is considered charity. So just think about that for a second. And when a woman works, same hours as a man, makes money, and she helps take care of her family in any way, shape, or form. I mean, if it's buying your kid an outfit you like, that is considered charity. So that tells you a lot about the value of a woman. When you talk about other rights that have been given to us as Muslim women, another example is the right to vote. Women were given the right to vote 1,400 years ago. We sadly look at American history and we see that that was only in the recent, last 60 years that women were given that right to vote. And a lot of people are really shocked to hear that over 1,400 years ago women had the right to vote. Just seems impossible, but it was, because a woman is no different than a man. And in a time where women were being bought and sold, I mean, we know medieval history, we know, how women were treated. They were not important, they were property. Women were not in Islam, and Islam was the first religion to bring it to light, the value of a woman, that she's a human being just like anybody else. The same goes for inheritance. So as we look at medieval history and the monarchies and things like that, marriage was constantly something that was done, and when a woman was married to a person of less affluent background, they married her usually for her income, because when she inherited anything, it became part of his property. For us, it's not. What's mine is mine. What I inherit is mine, and nobody can take that away from me. So that again shows you the value of a woman in Islam. When we talk about the topic of divorce is something that's one of the most hated of the allowed rights for obvious reasons. We don't want to encourage divorce, but sometimes divorce is necessary. And as a divorced woman, I can tell you firsthand that I was married and I lived in Syria. I'm of Syrian origin. And I had more rights as a woman in Syria than I did in the United States. I should have received spousal support and child support, and there's just so many aspects of what is given to a woman upon the time of divorce. And I don't need a reason to ask for a divorce that's extreme. It could be just I had a change of heart, or I'm not feeling the connection. And that's a lot for a woman to be able to say. So the power is in my hands. I have the ability to say, no, this isn't working for me, and this is not a healthy situation for me to live in. So I can back out and say, you know what, this isn't good. Of course, there's steps, and you know, it's not just like, okay, the snap of your fingers and it's over. Obviously not. But that allows us to have the opportunity to live a peaceful life, a peaceful life. I got married again. I have 3 beautiful children, an amazing husband. My husband, who's playing with my daughter right now. And when we talk about children, the importance of a woman in Islam is immense. It is said that in Islam, the paradise lies at the foot of the mother. So it's a very symbolic thing. It's not literally looking down and saying, okay, there's paradise. You have to have the support that your mother, you need to make your mother happy. You can't make it to paradise if you have a mother who's unhappy with you. If you haven't respected her. Kids, where are you? Listening up. Okay, you need to show respect to your mother. Just for the simple fact of 9 months carrying you in her womb, or caring for you when you're sick, the amount of emotional connection that there is between a mother and her children. So a mother's place is very, very important. We should show them the utmost respect and love, no matter how difficult they may be. Don't get me wrong, I know. Moms can be tough. But if you've done your part to show them love and respect, guys, I'm looking at you, okay? So you can't get to paradise, you can't get to heaven without the approval of your mother. In addition to, when we talk about divorce, we're going to talk about marriage. We have prenuptial agreements in Islam. It started with Islam, and it was meant to protect the rights of a woman, so that in the case of divorce, so sometimes it happens, a woman's protected, and it's done during the good times. So it's not when things got nasty that you have to sit there and hash out all these details. You do it before you get married. It's a contract. It's written out in detail. What's going to happen upon divorce? What basically, it usually boils down to what's going to be given to the woman. So when you hear these negative things on TV, and you know, I sold 6 goats for your daughter, or whatever it is, well, that came from an original place. It came from a time 1,400 years ago where, you know, that was money. Nowadays, it's usually a dollar amount or something like that, or gold that has some value, something specific. But that's done for a reason to protect the woman. So when there's a divorce, she has assets that she can look at. So if the entire duration of her marriage, she decided, I'm not going to work, I'm going to stay home, and I'm not going to do, any outside work, that doesn't mean she's stuck, that she has to stay here because of money. She has something she can lean on. There's something there for her to support her, that if this marriage is not working out, she's not just stuck. As far as the children go as well, the children are not taken and just give it to the father. The children, there's a special, like I said, a special bond to the mother. So the children, there's a certain process and everything, but if the mother is fit, the children go with their mother, and they stay with their mother until a certain age, and then they make the decision once they're older. So that's another thing that many people don't think. You see these movies. I mean, there was a movie that just ate away at me since the time I was maybe 12 years old when I saw this Not Without My Daughter movie. It made me nuts. That's not reality. There is all kinds of, things going on in the world that you can't control, but when it comes to Islam and the core aspects of Islam, that's not part of Islam. And that's what's important to think about. When we talk about topics like dating in Islam, what Muslims aren't supposed to date, well, that's done to protect the woman. How many times have women been in relationships where they went on for 10, 15, 20 years, and the guy, I'm not getting married, we're not getting married. It's not fair to the woman. And then you hear many times that they leave her and she's broken because of these situations. And so all of these rules were put into place to protect us as women. But you're not going to find those kinds of rules put in place to protect men. Because women in that time in history were again treated as objects, as things bought and sold. So giving them this status and this importance, every woman is a queen. Every woman should be treated in such a way. And in that time it was unheard of. When we talk about the way we dress, it's obvious when you see a Muslim from a mile away, you can tell, that's a Muslim. We have different ways that we wear our scarves, some people cover more than others, some will wear a hijab and wear pants, some will wear no scarf, this is called a hijab in Arabic. So there's different variations of how people dress. It's usually cultural, or it might be different levels of how your connection is with God, what do you feel is acceptable? And that's what mandates. There's limitations. Okay, these are the bare minimums, and you can take it from there. You see people covering their faces, you see people wearing completely, black. That's their interpretation. And that's okay, that's her right. Because nobody tells us to cover yourself. That's a decision between you and God. Because if you cover yourself for somebody else, then it doesn't count. And what's the point? What's mine is mine. I limit what anybody can see. And that's the exact opposite of what's given to us by the media. It looks like we dress like this to shelter and cover and hide, but it's not. It's the exact opposite. It's control. Do I or do I not, when I cover myself this way, control what someone can see? So it's an empowering thing, and as a woman, and as a businesswoman, and as a teacher, and as a mother, I can't imagine my life without it. Because when I go into the workforce and I have a job and I'm working and I'm giving it my all, I know that I am doing better and I'm increasing in my position in work based on my performance, not based on how short my skirt is or how high my heels are. And that's an important thing that Islam gave us. It gave us this incredible feeling of a sense of accomplishment based on my brain. Through my education, through my experiences, and through my ability to perform in the workplace is what gets me somewhere. And not just in the workplace, in any place. So, the next time you see a Muslim woman, I would hope you would think, be proud of her. Be proud of her, because it's not easy. It would be so much easier for me to just not wear my scarf, and I'm still Muslim, doesn't mean I'm not. But be proud of her, because it's not easy. And it's a symbol. It's a symbol of who we are as a people, and how respected and loved and appreciated women are. So to every woman in this room, to our guys, but I would like to say thank you, whether you're Muslim or not. We work hard. We work very, very hard, whether it's at home, whether we have jobs, whether we're in school. So being a woman is a blessing. And thankfully, Islam is a religion that appreciates that very much. So with that, please, if you have any questions, anything at all, don't hesitate, just not even for a split second. I personally will never be offended. Don't hesitate to ask. And most Muslim women won't mind either. If you see someone in the mall or in the street, don't hesitate to ask any questions you may have. So with that, I'd like to thank you very much. Thank you for coming out.